Hello friends. In our previous lecture, we discussed about the limiting molar conductivity, and we can find the limiting molar conductivity by Colruy's law. That portion is in the electrochemical cell. Now from today, our another section will start. That section is electrolytic cell. What are the basic difference electrochemical cell and electrolytic cell? Electrochemical cell consists of a two beaker and the two different electrolytes and the two different metal strip which is dipped into the electrolytic solutions. But in electrolytic cell, you have only one beaker, one electrolyte and two different metal strips are dipped into one beaker. The another major difference is in electrochemical cell, you can separate the ions, but in electrolytic cell, you did not see any ion into the reactions, but you will get metal and gases. Generally in electrolytic cell, cathode is containing always in favoring of metal and anode is favoring of gases. That means anode consists of gaseous product and cathode consists of metallic product. The first example in electrolytic cell is NaCl. Suppose this NaCl is used in electrochemical cell, then your product will be Na plus and Cl minus ions. But now in electrolytic cell, Na solid plus 1/2 Cl2 gas means in electrolytic cell you will get the solid and gaseous product. Now what do you mean by electrolytic cell? In electrochemical cell, the chemical reaction will occur spontaneously and the electricity will produce by the chemical reactions. But in electrolytic cell, you have to apply outer voltage, and after applying the current, the chemical reaction will start. The concept of electrolytic cell is totally opposite from electrochemical cell. Now in electrolytic cell department, one scientist named Michael Faraday gives the two rules about the quantity of current. The first rule of Faraday is in electrolytic processes, current is directly proportional to the quantity of electricity passed through the electrolyte. Current is proportional to quantity of electricity means when you passing the electricity in any electrolytic cell, then the product form and deposited on any one of the electrode. Suppose this is the deposition of any product. So the weight of this product is directly proportional to the quantity of electricity. So we can say that this W is directly proportional with Q. Q means quantity of electricity, which is denoted by capital Q. In second rule, in this there is a one metal or one metal pair, but when more than two substances are used in a series in electrolytic cell, then the rule is the amount of different substances liberated by same quantity passing through the electrolyte is proportional to their equivalent weight. This equivalent weight means the atomic mass of any atom. But what is the meaning of different substances liberated by the same quantity passing through the electrolyte? The rule is denoted by W proportional to EQ. But we can understand this rule by this example. Na plus electron gives Na solid, Mg plus 2 electron means Mg solid, and aluminium plus 3 electron gives aluminium solid. These all are the different substances. The above substance is sodium, magnesium and aluminium. The atomic weight of sodium is approximately 23 gram, magnesium is 24 gram, aluminium is 27 gram. So, how we can apply the same quantity of current? See, here is a 1 electron, here is 2 electron, and another case has a 3 electron. So we can say that if we apply 1 Faraday to this Na plus ion, then you will get the total 1 mole of Na. 1 Faraday will give totally 1 mole of Na. But in second case, there are the 2 electrons. But we applying 1 Faraday, then you will get the 1/2 mole of Mg. But the atomic weight is divided by 2. So 2 electrons means you have to apply 2 Faraday to gain the 1 mole of Mg. In third category, we applying the same quantity of current 1 Faraday, then you will get 1/3 mole of aluminium. So you will get 27 gram in place of 9 gram. If we applying 3 Faraday, then you will get 27 gram. But if you applying 1 Faraday, then you will get the 1/3 of overall atomic weight, that is 27 to 9 gram. So Faraday want to tell that any atom or molecule or ion which accept the electrons is directly proportional to the Faraday. 1 Faraday means 1 electron, 2 Faraday means 2 electron, 3 Faraday means 3 electron. In further, this quantity of current Q, this Q is calculated by Q is equal to IT equation. This I is the electricity and this I is taken in ampere and this T is taken in second. Whatever the timing is in a format of hour, you will convert it into second. 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. Now, the Faraday constant is capital F, and this capital F has the exact value of 96487 coulomb. From where this value is coming, so you have the electronic charge 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. This is the charge of normal electron, and you have to multiply this charge with the Avogadro number. This Avogadro number means Na. When you multiply both these values, you will get the exactly value of 96487 coulomb. But in running scenario, we use 96500 coulomb approximately in every examples. Okay, this is the brief introduction of electrolytic cell. Now, in further theory, we are going to discuss about the products of electrolysis. The product of electrolysis is a very important topic for the MCQ. Products of electrolysis. The product of electrolysis we can write in this way: molten NaCl. NaCl is malt naturally. The addition of water did not place in this incident. Molten NaCl, then aqueous NaCl, and the third case is dilute NaCl. These three types of NaCl solutions will give the different products on anode and cathode side. In molten NaCl, in our lecture in starting, I said that on anode there is always presence of gas, and on cathode there is always presence of metal. Then in molten NaCl, the anode consists of Cl2 gas and cathode consists of Na solid. In aqueous NaCl, the product on anode is same, Cl2 gas, but on cathode side there is no presence of metal ion or metal, but we get the H2S gas. How this possible? The reduction of hydrogen is very easy in comparison with sodium. The sodium has atomic number of 11. So the octet is complete after the 10 electron. So the 1 electrons which is on 11th number. So the sodium has tendency to release the electron. That means on oxidation side. So the reduction of H2 is very easy in comparison with Na. So where this Na goes into beaker, so from water side the H2 is on cathode, and this Na is react with oxygen. So the third product in aqueous NaCl is NaOH. The Na which is remaining in beaker is react with OH minus ion and forming the complex of sodium hydroxide. The H plus ion is used into forming the hydrogen gas. In dilute NaCl, the product on anode side is O2 gas and on cathode side is H2 gas. When the word is dilute, there is no need of any electrolyte. NaCl hoy, CuCl2, Na2SO4, the all products are same for any electrolyte. On anode is O2 and cathode is H2. Now in further topic, there is a battery. Battery consisting of two types, one is primitive and the second one is secondary cell. Primitive cell means you can use that batteries once, you cannot reuse that batteries. In secondary batteries, you can recharge those batteries and reused after the date of reaction. Battery consisting of one-time chemical reactions, and after the completion of chemical reaction, the cell goes dead. The first example of a battery is dry cell. This dry cell is a primitive type of battery. After completion of one-time chemical reaction, this cell did not working in a further electricity. The arrangement of dry cell is the center pole is consisting of carbon. That carbon is known as graphite. In contact with graphite, the another layer is of manganese dioxide plus charcoal or carbon. This is the semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane means these both the liquids in contact with each other partially. The third layer is the mixture of NH4Cl plus ZnCl2, which is known as zinc amalgam. And the outer layer of this primitive cell is made up of zinc metal. And this zinc metal is act as anode, and the MnO2 plus carbon is act as cathode in the dry cell. The voltage of this dry cell is about 1.5 voltage. In dry cell, this 1.5 voltage is throughout the chemical reaction. This 1.5 did not variable in the one-time chemical process. The anodic reaction is shown by Zn will give Zn2 plus 2 electrons, and on cathode side MnO2 plus NH4 plus, which is from the NH4Cl, this electron is gained by the cathode, and you will get MnOOH plus ammonia gas. This ammonia is making the complex with Zn2 plus ion. In between those chemical reactions, this complex Zn into NH3 4 times plus 2. This complex will form during the chemical reaction, that this ammonia is react with Zn2 plus and forming ZnNH3 plus 2 complex. Now this is a primitive cell because the oxidation of Mn plus 4, and on this side the oxidation number of Mn is plus 3. We cannot change this oxidation state from plus 3 to plus 4. This is the discharging process, that plus 4 oxidation will convert into plus 3. But we cannot reverse this chemical reaction from plus 3 to plus 4. That's why this cell is known as primitive cell, and you cannot reuse this cell after the date of chemical reactions. This cell is sealed by the high quality wax, and this graphite is covered with anode cap. This is also made up of zinc. So this is the information about dry cell, or you can say galvanic cell. And in further lectures we will discuss about the lead storage cell and mercury cell, and our last theory, that is corrosion. Okay, thank you.